Hi guys, this is Vineet and I welcome you to this video. In this video we will discuss about the topic attaching a database in SQL Server. So guys, if you are new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. There is a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon and select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. Let me give you 5 seconds so that you can subscribe quickly, and afterwards I will start. So go ahead and do so. So guys, I hope you have subscribed by now. Let me move ahead. So there are some points to remember while watching this video. Please watch this video till the end to gain better clarity of the concept, and if possible for you, please watch this video twice. Perform any exercises in your test and lab environments only. Do not touch any production environments or production databases. And we would like to know your thoughts, comments, suggestions, requirements, feedbacks, any instances related to SQL Server, any stories related to SQL Server, or your day-to-day experience related to SQL Server. Maybe you can share us your stories about the situation where my content has helped you in some way. Alright, so we do eagerly wait for your comments and would love to read your comments. So guys, please do share your comments with us. Let me move ahead. We have created some playlists for you to watch. Some of them are database design, tables, business continuity, indexing, performance tuning, and integration services playlist. Each one is having many videos, and this video belongs to the database design category. And we have more than like 65 videos currently in the database design, and more than 210 videos posted on my channel. My channel page link is indicated over here, and I think it is incorrect. I will change it. Actually, I have changed my handle, so this channel page link is not correct. But yeah, the links for the other playlists are correct, and I'm including the list for all the playlists in the video description area. So please go ahead and check out the video description area, guys. Alright, let's come back to today's topic, which is attaching a database within SQL Server. So I need to go back to my notes quickly. Let's start a new slide here. So let me add a slide. I haven't added it yet. So it would be attach a database is the topic. Let me modify some colors and the font sizes and the okay, this is quite big. Okay, this much should be fine, right? Okay, so this will be today's topic, and let me write some temple text over which I will type. Let me make the color let's keep it to light pink is the good color. Alright, so let me make this text a little bigger, so I think this much should be okay for you. Alright, so let's start the topic attaching a database. So basically in this video we will describe how to attach a database in SQL Server with SQL Server Management Studio or Transact-SQL. We will show you how to attach a database in SQL Server with SQL Server Management Studio, and or we can say I will show you using the Transact-SQL as well. And basically we can use this attach feature to copy, move, or upgrade a SQL Server database. So for example, if we attach an older version database to a new version database, let me reiterate. So if we attach an older version database to a SQL Server instance of new version, the database gets upgraded automatically after the attach operation. And yeah, detach and attach can be used to move or copy the databases as well. So yeah, that's why we do attach and detach and attach. Now there are some prerequisites I would like to discuss before you attach the database. So there are some prerequisites or the things you should give consideration to before doing any database attach operations. So let me discuss some of these items. So first example I'm taking where you are moving a database from one instance of SQL Server to another instance of SQL Server. So in that case, the database must first be detached from the existing SQL instance. Alright. So let me write that down for you. So in the case where you are moving a database, let's consider this case. So in this case, you are moving a database from one instance to another instance of SQL Server. In that case, the database must first be detached. You can check out my previous video on how to detach the databases. So the database must first be detached from many existing SQL instances. Alright, so first detach operation need to be performed. And if you attempt to attach a database that has not been detached, it returns an error. So if you attempt to attach a database that has not been detached yet, alright, that is not detached yet, basically it returns an error. Alright, let me move on to second point that I would like to discuss. Let's give it a space between them. Okay, now second thing is when you attach a database, all data files for the database must be available. This is very important, guys. So whenever you attach a database, all data files for the for that database must be available. Otherwise it won't be attached, or it will give you an error during the attach process. So once you attach a database, all data files for the database must be available. And if we talk about the file extension, often these files have extensions .mdf, which is for the primary data file, or .ndf, which is for the secondary data files. Uh, these both are for data files, so I'm putting that in bracket. And there are LDF files, which are the transaction log files, right? And in addition to this file, so if we talk about additionally any file groups, so if we have created any file groups for file streams, we'll talk about file streams soon. So keep a watch, keep subscribed to my channel. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. There is a subscribe button below this video. So additionally, any file groups or file streams for file streams. So we create file groups for file stream data, and these file groups must be present and available. If we are using the file stream data, those file groups must be available. And we will talk about file stream enabled databases soon, guys. I will soon roll out a video on same, so keep an eye, keep subscribed. Alright, okay. Another point to discuss is if any data file has a different path from when the database was first created or last attached, you must specify the current path of the file. So if you have changed the or if you have moved the data files, right, to a different path from its original location after detaching the database, right? So if you move the files, alright, you must specify the new path during the attach operation, guys. Okay, so this is important. And another important point is the permissions issue. So the database engine basically the account under which the SQL Server service is running. So database engine service account must have permissions to read the files in their new location. Ideally, it should have a read-write access, right? But yeah, at least it should have a read-write in that particular location from where we are attaching the database files. Last point is if MDF and LDF files are in different directories and one of the paths includes, well, let's leave that. I think that's it. Okay. Now let's talk about whether the attach operation is the best choice for the movement and copying of files. So let's discuss the topic whether attach is a best choice. So what do you think, guys? Let me know in your comments. I'm discussing the topic. So we are discussing whether attach is a best choice or not. So basically we do not recommend doing the detach and attach operations. So the recommendation, if we talk about, is that you move databases within an instance with the, so if you are moving the database within the instance itself, you can use the alter database command, which is a planned relocation process. So you can do that instead of detaching and attaching the file, right? So we do not prefer detach and attach, but instead you can use the alter database planned relocation. Maybe so you can use the alter database planned relocation procedure when moving the database files within the same instance. All right. And it is not recommended to use detach and attach operations for backup and recovery. So you should not be taking as a backup procedure by doing detaching a database from one server, attaching it to other server, and feel that you have taken a backup of that database. You shouldn't feel like that. And so basically why we do not recommend that for the backup purpose is that there are no transaction log backups available. Backups or point in time recovery is also not available. When you perform the detaching of files to be backed up externally from SQL Server. So ideally the suggestion is to use the backup and restore operation within the SQL Server if you're doing a backup and restore. Let me see what has to be discussed next. Give me a few minutes. So guys, although I do have discussed many times about the word of caution here, so let me discuss it separately. So there's a word of caution while you're performing the detach or attach operations, basically the attach and restore operations for databases. There's a word of caution. So recommendation is that you do not attach or restore databases from unknown or untrusted sources. This is the recommendation. Why we say so? Because such databases could contain the malicious code that might execute unintended SQL or maybe T-SQL code or cause errors by modifying the schema or the physical database structure. So it can wreak havoc on your system, so be careful while attaching a database from unknown or untrusted sources. And so what about the situation where it's compulsory to use the database from unknown and untrusted sources? So using before you use such a database, what I would say, from an unknown or untrusted sources or source, whatever, I would prefer running the dbcc checkdb command on the database on a non-production server. So guys, these two things are important: running the dbcc checkdb on that database, and that too on a non-production server. We do not recommend using those databases on the production server directly, so those should be checked on the non-production servers. And you should also examine the code as well, right? Code such as stored procedure, I would say. Read out all the stored procedures inside the database, or maybe other user defined code in functions maybe. Alright, in the database. Alright, so yeah, that's it. And let me now dive into how you can do an attach operation. So in my earlier video, I had detached the my AdventureWorks database, right? So in this video, what we'll do is we will attach that database back to the SQL Server. So let's go inside SQL Server and perform this operation. Let's perform the operation of attaching the database. So we have already attached one of the databases, and files for those databases, if I talk about, are present over here. And these are two files, AdventureWorks 2022, and one is the primary data file, and another is the log file. These two files will be used. So we have checked this. Now let's straightforward go to the attachment of the database. So in our early video, we have shown you how to detach the database. Now I'm taking you through the steps of attaching the database. So let's do it via SQL Server Management Studio in GUI mode first. So first of all, you connect to the instance of the database. You are already aware about that, and you need to right click expand on the databases. So it is already expanded, and you need to right click on the databases, and there is an attach option over here. Click on that attach option. It will open up the attached database dialog box. And in the attached database dialog box, to specify the database to be attached, right, you need to click on the add button here. Click on the add button, and you need to locate the files here. So it's inside the MySQL server. The folder is already selected. So I will use this AdventureWorks 2022 MDF file. The log file is in same location, so it will automatically pick up the log file as well. So we have selected the location where the database resides, and we have found the MDF file as well. Alright. So this one is a detached database, so it will get attached without any issues. So if your database is not detached first, you must perform that detach operation. And if you want to know how to do that, please watch out my previous video. Now let's do okay. So let's take a look at this section, databases to attach. So this is the database I have selected to attach. File name is given over here, and it is displaying the information about the selected database. So first is the MDF file location, which displays the path and name of the selected MDF file. Second is the database name, which displays the name of the database. In our case, it's my AdventureWorks. Attach as option, it is saying you can change the name over here. If you want to attach it with a different name, you can mention that here. You can attach it as AdventureWorks as well by just changing it. But yeah, I don't want to change it right now. So let's keep it like that. Now the owner of the database, who will be the new owner of the database? It is specifying the account. Who will be the owner of the database? So Vineet will be the owner of the database. In status, basically it displays the status of database according to the. Sometimes we do get some indications over here. So in case we get no icon or no text, so basically this indicates that attach operation has not been started or might be pending for this object. And this is the default when the dialog is opened. And if you see green over here, which is a right pointing triangle, which basically shows that it's in progress. You can watch out when we start performing the OK operation. The status column changes over here. You can keep an eye on this. So a green right pointing triangle indicates an in progress status, which basically indicates attach operation will be starting, but it is not yet complete. And if you see a green check mark, right, it shows success, and which basically indicates the object has been successfully attached. And if you see a red circle containing a white cross, which basically indicates an error during the attach operation, and it has not completed successfully. And if you get the circle containing two black quadrants on left and right, alright, and two white quadrants on top and bottom, so it means it is stopped. So which basically indicates the attach operation was not completed successfully because you stopped the operation. So that happens when you stop the operation during the attach process. And there's also an icon which is a circle containing a curved arrow pointing counterclockwise, which means it's rolled back. So which basically indicates that attach operation was successful, but it has been rolled back due to an error during attachment of another object. So let me put out that table for you. Give me a few minutes. So guys, I have carved out this table for you here, and which I discussed right now. I've mentioned that in the table right here. So about all the status icons which will come in this section, this column. So the table mentions about all the graphical indications you will see, and their status text and the description as well is given over here. So please read that out. I've posted that here, although I've discussed it a few minutes back, but yeah, I have discussed it here. Now let's go back to the dialog box, and we have to discuss other items. So in the last we have message which displays either a blank message or a file not found hyperlink maybe. So it basically gives us the message in case the file is not found, otherwise it's blank, and there's an add button to add the file. So it is basically to find the necessary main database files. When you select an MDF file, applicable information is automatically filled over here at the bottom right in the respective fields of the database to attach grid. So all this information, when we do an add operation and select the MDF file, all this information get filled here, right? So this is the database grid, database to attach grid, I would say. And these are the database details like database name. And if in case this file does not exist in the, or maybe if any of the file does not exist for this particular MDF file, we will get the message not found in the message area. And for example, log file, if we have selected an MDF file, if the associated log file is not found for the same MDF file, or if it exists in another directory or has been deleted, you need to either update the file path in the database detail grids to point to the correct location, alright, or remove the log from the grid, alright. So if you, otherwise you have to remove it if this file is not available by chance. So we have selected AdventureWorks 2022 MDF, and here it populated information about two files. The associated log file information is populated as well. So in this case, this file is not available or deleted somehow or is in another location. In case of another location, you need to specify the new location. If it's deleted, you should remove this entry, otherwise the attach operation will not be successful. So you need to either update the file path in the database details grid to point to the correct location, or remove the log file from the grid. And if an NDF data file, which is a secondary data file, is not found, you need to update the path in the grid to point to the correct location, or maybe remove that entry. Now let's discuss about the bottom grid, which is showing us the original file name, and basically that displays the name of the attached file belonging to a database, and file type is shown as data or log, and the current file path for these files is given over here, which basically displays the path to the selected database file. This path can be edited manually as well. So yeah, that's it. Once these details are filled, just press OK to perform the attach operation. So let's do that. Let's click OK. Now the files are attached. So I can see my AdventureWorks database over here, right? Now let me detach it once again. So now I will show you how to attach it with using the Transact-SQL. So for that I need to first detach it. So I'm dropping the connection and just detaching the files. Okay, the database has now gone. Now let me show you how to use Transact-SQL to do the database attached stuff. So for earlier I had discussed that as well. So before detaching the file, so let me take you back to the same situation where we were attaching the database. Let's attach the AdventureWorks database. Alright. So it is attached. So let me show you the way before. Now let's move into the T-SQL way of doing things. So before you move any database, you check out the files in the database. So that was discussed in one of my earlier videos as well. You should check the file section here to see what all files are associated with this database, and that those files should be available if you want to reattach them. So those files are available in my case. Both the logs and the data files are available in this location. So that is how you check via GUI, but if you want to check it via the T-SQL script, what you can do is you can do a select star from there's a system catalog view sys.database files. So this is the view, and make sure your current database is selected for which you want to view the files. Now here we see this database has two files, and what type of data does it contain, and whether files are available or not, etc, etc. So basically location as well as the name of the file is available over here. So this is how you can check and make sure that files are available. And let's do a detach now. Let me detach it via the GUI mode. Now I will show you how to perform the. Okay, let's close it. Okay, let's trigger a new query. Now I would like to show you how you can attach the database using the script. So in my previous video, let me see what I had shown you. So I had shown you how to detach a database, right? So for that we use the sp detach db stored procedure, right? So now what we are doing is through Transact-SQL we are trying to attach the database. So for that we use the for attach option. So we have triggered a new query, right? So basically we use the create database statement, and you can specify a new name of the database if you would like, but yeah, I'm keeping the database name as same, so I will use my AdventureWorks, and I need to specify on. Then we specify the files, which we have two files available separated by comma. So the first file name is you need to specify the path is this. So copy out that path, put it in here, and give the name of the file. The name of the file is, you can rename it and copy it out the file name from here. That would be easy. and let's put the file name here, and this is the first file name. Now let's put in the second file name. uh, Now again the path is same, right, and the file name is little bit different, so let me copy that, and it's underscore log, and in the end it's LDF, not MDF. So yeah, we are done. And the last, if you are attaching, you need to specify the for attach clause, ending by semicolon. So this is the script you need to write, and yeah, you can execute this script to reattach the database. So I've reattached it. If you refresh the database list, you will see that database is coming over there. So here it is. All right. So your database might have additional data files. Basically, commons are MDF and NDF, which are primary and secondary data files. And we may require additional files to include in the create database statement, for attach statement, which is this. We need to include the additional files in this statement. Additionally, if we have any file groups for file stream data that we will discuss in our upcoming videos. So if you have any such file groups, those must also be included in this statement. Alright, and we will talk about this soon. And this is one of the ways to attach, and there is another way. You can use the stored procedure sp attach db to perform the same operation as well. So we are not discussing that stored procedure over here, but yeah, that stored procedure can also be used. So I think the syntax would be sp attach db, and you need to specify the db name and give the name of the file you want to attach. And in the tooltip it is mentioning about various files. You need to give the file name 1, file name 2, whatever, how many file names you want to use for the attach db operation. You need to specify that, but yeah, we are not discussing this operation over here. We will later on discuss it out. So stay in tune. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Alright, so that you can get the timely notifications regarding my upcoming videos. There's a subscribe button below this video. Please go ahead and do subscribe to my channel right away. I'm waiting. In the meantime, I'm going ahead after that. Okay, so I hope I'm done. Let me talk about little bit about the change data capture here. So that's an important point. So let's talk about the change data capture here, which is also known as CDC. Let's make it a heading. So basically, we will talk about detail regarding the change data capture later on, but yeah, here I'm talking in regards to the attachment of database. So if you are attaching a database from an instance of SQL Server 2014 or earlier, alright, which had change data capture or CDC enabled, then you must execute the following command to update the change data capture or CDC metadata. So this is only required in the case when you are attaching a database that was used on the previous instance of SQL Server, maybe 2014 or earlier, and if this database has change data capture enabled on it, then in order to update the CDC data, you use the following script, and basically you specify the database name, which database you want to use, and you execute a stored procedure which is sys.sp underscore cdc, stands for change data capture, v upgrade. This is the stored procedure you will use. We'll talk about on this in the detail later. So otherwise you get error when you attach a CDC enabled database to an instance of SQL Server 2016 and 17 on Windows if you are attaching a database which is CDC enabled. So we will talk about that later, about that error. So in those situations this will be useful. But for now we are done with our topic, and in our next video series or in our next video we will talk about the user databases which will be having some practicals. So get ready for that, and if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so again. I will keep on reiterating. So otherwise you will miss out on so many practicals. So guys, this is done. We have talked about how to attach the databases. We have talked about some prerequisites for that, and whether attach is a best choice or not, whether attach operation is the best choice or not, which is not. Ideally, you should be using the alter database statement if you are moving the database within the same instance. You should not be using the detach and attach. And there's a word of caution while attaching the databases from unknown or untrusted sources. And what should you do in regards to those databases? Then we discussed on the status icons inside the attached database window when you use the GUI mode to attach a database. So guys, I'm done with this video, and let's go back to slide. So today we have discussed about how you can attach a database within a SQL Server which is already detached. And I hope you like this video. Please click on the like button below this video if you really liked it. And also guys, if you are new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe immediately. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. Also guys, please do share your comments, feedback, suggestions, any requirements, any day-to-day stories with SQL Server. You may let us know about the situations where my content has helped you in some way. Or yeah, that's it. And yeah guys, if you have a good network of friends or a huge network of friends, and if they also work in IT domain or SQL Server domain, please share my videos with them and ask them to subscribe to my channel in case you feel my videos can make a difference in their life and can improve their life. Please share my channel with them so that they can subscribe. And I think that's it. I thank you so much for your time on this video guys, and you have a wonderful day ahead.